feeling compelled. And a lot of times, as lifeguards, you know, we are compelled to do our jobs. We're compelled to do our duty. We're compelled that now I'm kind of obligated, Paul says. Since Christ has touched me now, I'm kind of obligated to my neighbors now. I'm obligated to the people of skin to have the same opportunity to come to Christ.
I'm Mike. This is Sarah. Mike and Sarah Myers here. And we're with Beautiful Feet Ministries. Sarah and I, in 1981, saw a birthing of a ministry called Beautiful Feet, where we saw all kinds of homeless in downtown Fort Worth in an outdoor water park named the Fort Worth Water Gardens. And it was in the water gardens that we saw people that were sleeping under shrubs and hanging out in an outdoor setting where they were fishing in the water park for the coins that the tourists threw in the night before. And then we kind of befriended them, and we started taking a breakfast of donuts and coffee to them to go and fish for men. And so, wow, what an awesome opportunity to go and evangelize and see people come to Christ and that were literally living right off the streets. But the church that I was involved in really believed in us in such a way that, wow, this is a good work. And we said, what about when we leave the water gardens after our worship service there, can we put people on a bus and bring them to this church and have, say, like a Bible study, and maybe have different people in the church supply a meal, a different Sunday school class each Sunday, supply a meal for the homeless. And they said, oh, that'd be great. And so we did that for like 3 years. And so for 3 years, we would have a worship service in the water gardens real early. And then we would put them on a bus and lock and load. We'd go to the local church. Then in like 85, they and we decided that, wow, the ministry started growing. And even the people that we were ministering with and the church that was sponsoring us, they were like, everybody kind of got nervous because, here's all these folks invading our church. And so everybody got really excited about missions at that point, to where we needed our own home. The Feet needed its own locale. And so that became a real time of, hey, let's search in the city and find a spot. And sure enough, over here on 1709 East Hattie, pigeons was flying through this building, and God told us to come chase the pigeons out. You know, every day at Beautiful Feet is pretty exciting in the sense that we get involved in ministering to people's needs. And I have a great staff of folks that have a heartbeat for the gospel. One of the things we've done is we've hired a lot of folks that are ministry students on our staff, to where we know that we're involving them in learning experience here at Beautiful Feet and learning how to minister to people's needs. On a typical day at Beautiful Feet, you're going to hear a Bible study that's being brought by a volunteer or a ministry student or a local pastor or a local person in the church that's in the Word. And then you're also going to get a breakfast, you're going to get a lunch, you're going to get a chapel service, you're going to get your laundry done, you're going to get a free opportunity for a shower. You're going to get some freebies in order to also hear the gospel and be involved with God's people. A lot of people on the streets, some of them are running from God. Got some Jonahs and Jonah fingers out there. This is a great way to interface them with or to bring them face to face back with God whom they've left for a while. Friday night is one of my favorite nights here at the Feet because it's kind of like fish night at the Feet. We try to go out to where the people are and do some kind of fishing expedition. Like last Friday night, we did what we call Operation Dog Drop. What is Operation Dog Drop? Glad you thought about that. The Operation Dog Drop is dropping about 300 hot dogs on as many people that'll eat them or take them and we try to take Christians out to share the gospel using a hot dog for the icebreaker.
The ministry is about people's souls. It's about reaching the lost for Jesus Christ, and seeing that, being the hands and feet, and able to see how, one of these guys he had a conversation with about, I saw him up here singing and leading in a rap song up there, 2 or 3 weeks after he had a conversation with him, and I think that's kind of the idea of Beautiful Feet is restoration. To see people's lives turned around and brought back to Christ and ultimately off the streets.
I used to live on these streets, and so for me it was me giving back to something that I used to take from. So it was an amazing experience.
The work that we are really doing over here at Beautiful Feet is bearing fruit. People are actually giving their life to Christ.
We've got one, Pam Ozza, that's a highlight at Beautiful Feet, where she used to sleep on the pew right over here. And slept through some of my best messages, I might say. However, when she got put in jail, God just kind of had awakened her to the gospel. And she had a turnaround experience while she was in jail. And once she made that decision to follow Christ, and He made Himself clear to her, wow, she made beeline back here at Beautiful Feet. And after a period of discipleship through Teen Challenge, we've now hired her on staff. And so she went from being homeless, being a streetwalker, being into prostitution, to now being one of the king dog daddy leaders on our staff and giving back.
Well, I started off at the Feet on the wrong side of the street. I started off back in 1994. And I lived out here on the streets for about 9 years. And so I was coming up here to get fed, just food, not spiritual food. I came to know the Lord in August 16, 2001. I was reading John 8:3-11, and the Lord just showed Himself to me so awesome. And He just was writing on the ground saying, not guilty, that I was free from my sins. And so from that day on, I didn't even really know who Christ was, but I knew that if He was powerful enough to come and see me and knew that I had nothing to give Him but my sins, I thought that was pretty awesome to me. I didn't even know how to cook. I mean, it's the craziest thing that God would put me in the kitchen to cook for 6,000 people a month. I mean, I don't know how to cook. And then you're talking about cooking for 200 people a day and having to be able to count all this stuff, and you got people calling my name trying to put the food in. You got to tell the community service people what to do. You got to go over here and put the meat where it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, Lord, seriously. But God's hand, you don't have to be really equipped. You just got to be willing, and through my willingness, then God has created Himself in me to be able to explore it.
A lot of people become homeless sometimes because they've made left turns. They were on the main highway and they went off free road or off road with a vehicle that didn't quite have four-wheel drive, and they got stuck. And they stayed in that rut for a while. Drugs, alcohol can be part of some people's lives, rebellion, greed, a lot of different reasons people are in the fix that they're in. Some could be shame, some could be parents, the way they raised them, and then they rebel. There's multiple reasons of why people are where they are.
Another area that's really sad on the streets is just mental illness. There are a lot of mentally ill people who are homeless, and it's really sad because they don't take their medicine regularly or get it like they should, and so sometimes they'll mix their legal medicine with things off the street too. So that's another sad aspect. But there's a women and children's shelter at the Union Gospel Mission and the Salvation Army and the Presbyterian Night Shelter. So there are a lot of families in the area that are homeless just because those places are all full and there's a waiting list on all three of those. So.
Come to me, all you who are weary, burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. I've been here since March 7th, 2009. I got out of, I've been 64 years old. I've been blessed with God all my life, Mother and Dad died in 2005, and they kind of freaked out too bad. And long story short, trying to outrun a helicopter shooting at me, thinking, oh yeah, I can do that, but anyway, it's too long to get into that. But in state jail, they put me in the God pod, which really did me good, and after that, they told me to come on over here to Beautiful Feet, I've been here ever since.
Well, I've been coming here ever since 1985, and I have a good time every time I come, and I just made this my home. And all of the people here, I know a lot of people, and they're just like my sisters and brothers. It's like a family. I chose this as my home church, and I make myself useful when I'm here because God gave me a gift, and I use it.
We went one time on Friday. We went to pray for street people on the streets, pray for the family, give them hot dogs, drinks. Made me feel real good for doing this for people. I never done this before. It's the first time. It made me feel real good. It made me feel real good. And this place really helped me out a lot. And I've tried my best to help them out a lot. And another thing about Mike Myers, he would not throw nobody out the door without feeding them. That means he wouldn't let no street people go out hungry. He always take care of them real good.
You show me each day your unconditional love, a blessing I know from my Father above. To be simple and humble, to love one another, to walk hand in hand as sisters and brothers, to study the Word and walk with Christ, to spread His good news each day of my life, to have faith and hope and show others the way with happiness and joy every second of the day. Always do what you can for someone in need, fill your heart with His Spirit and just believe. For the most precious gift is God's grace from above, and He blesses us all with hope, faith, and love. They have beautiful feet here that they have dental, medical, and they feed breakfast and lunch every day. Plus they feed Wednesdays and Friday nights. But more than that, they have about 30 different states coming through here all year long. And they get to see what's going on here, and they come and help and stuff like that. And it's awesome what they do here. It really is. There's no place really like it around here like this. I mean, a lot of places, they feed and stuff like that. We feed the last Sunday of every month. I help Jay Pence in the streets and stuff. But Beautiful Feet, they're here, and they've been here for quite a while. And they got a lot of good things going on here. I have other people that come out and donate stuff. Everything that we got's been donated to a brand new tent. Everything. God takes care of everything. But we just make sure that they know it's going to be godly and no trouble, no drinking, no drugs. It keeps a good community. We've been there, we've done that. See that road, he come down and come right here. Right here. We got a backyard, a front yard.
No better.
And all this was wooded, but we just cleaned it out as we go. We made a backyard, front yard. And come and look at this right here.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock.
Are they home?
You see they got a portable shower.
Knock, knock.
See the running water. It's another good sight. And they cook and everything. You see, there's a running creek. Is that awesome?
All to Jesus I surrender, all to Him I freely
Yes, okay.
give.
Glad to have you back, brother.
Man, going good. How's your week been? Hey, what's going on, gang?
And
Hey, I'm all up in here. Oh, you got a speed bump, didn't you? I got it. Yeah. Well, yeah. I came back on it. I kind of trailered it over and then I came back. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. And I moved your. Yeah. Okay. Looks like you got taters and sausage and egg, and then you got some kind of croissant on your left. Made it, huh? Yep, thanks.
I surrender all to Jesus. I surrender humbly at His feet. I bow. Worldly pleasures all forsaken, take me, Jesus, take me now. I surrender.
Ask you that question if someone had asked you a question and they said, have you been transformed? We just heard Dennis pray right there, and he wasn't praying like someone who's wimpy or feeling sorry for himself or somebody that sits around in darkness all the time. He was praying as a man of light because Christ has had fellowship with him and transformed him from the inside out. I feel like I'm kind of getting paid to do what my passion is. I feel like the Lord's called me to fish for men. So my goal is to get the gospel out to folks, and the neediest, the best. I mean, I think William Booth, the Salvation Army founder, he said, go for souls and go for the worst. And that kind of drives me. Also, C.T. Studd said, some people want to build a church within the sound of chapel bells, but I want to run a mission just a few yards from the gates of hell. And so sometimes I see Beautiful Feet as that. I see us as a rescue team, firefighters and lifeguards, where we're trying to rescue people from the peril of hell and with the gospel, to get them the gospel. And so we're always kind of in evangelistic mode here at the feet. And yet at the same time, we're in humanity mode, where we're trying to feed folks, clothe folks, and minister to their bodies. But our main denominator that every one of us share in the ministry is that we have a sense of urgency about the gospel. And so to see the gospel go forth, that's my passion. Not only with the lost, but as Sarah mentioned, equipping the saints to get the gospel out.
Sometimes I fall, but I don't forget who He is. Thank God for beautiful feet, picking us up, showing love. Some of us feel like we ain't got hope, but it's people like beautiful feet that come by and show that they care. They care why they come almost daily, on a weekly basis, to pick us up, show that love that we all need, and Christ showed. God bless you.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed.
Hey, on behalf of Beautiful Feet Ministries, we want to thank you for engaging your time in hearing our calls. And if you want to support our cause, you can donate online to thefeet.org. And also, we want anybody that would like to support Flock TV, you can also donate to flocktv.org. We appreciate ministries like this, supporting ministries like ours, and ministries that will take on the needs and preach the gospel to every creature until the end comes. And we thank you for being a supporter of this time, and pray that God would have you also engage in sharing the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ.